Here we come, y'all. Here we come, yeah. Here we come, y'all. Here we come, yeah. Here we come, y'all. Here we come, Here we come on. Here we come, yeah. Here we come on. Here we come, yeah. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of Loungin. We're going to get into it in a couple of seconds. Big shout out to NERDSoulite and a big shout out to Lady Lisa.
Hey.
So, before we get started, I did want to give some extra awesome shout outs to the Patreon supporters. Big shout out to, like Tim I, Jamal Lee, Panda, Thought Crimes, Enrique Carrion. All you guys are awesome. Thank you for helping to build NERDSoul in a very, very cool way. But we got some fun stuff to talk about. This is going to be a fancy-free week. This today is not going to be crazy. All right? It's not going to be crazy. So to the chat, big shout out to Cornelius Broadnax in the house. Also, big shout out to probably be in here sooner or later. So big shout out to them. And who? Vivi is usually in the house. And yeah, Keith Cooper or something, we're going to get it going. So a little bit after our last stream, we heard some dire news about Diamond and Silk. And if you didn't know who Diamond and Silk are, they're these two young ladies who are very, very pro-Trump. Almost, basically, making videos, essentially kind of like clowning and roasting and like kind of essentially taunting the black community to a certain degree, and is kind of just to get looks. And there are those types. What up, Alan Lewis in the house? There's those types that kind of work very hard to be seen by the alt-right or the very, very staunch Republican side. And I won't call any other names. This is about, about Diamond and Silk. And of course, they were almost a caricature of themselves, of, black culture and black women. And, I don't play that mess with black women. But they've been fired by Fox News. I'm worried this won't be our last time seeing them. Hopefully it will be. But I'm worried that it won't be our last time seeing them. But if it is, yes. But one thing that I thought was interesting to bring this up is because, once again, this is another example of showing you can work as hard, kissing up to a certain type of person or a certain type of group as much as you want.
Yo shuck and yo jive will never be shucky or jivey enough.
No, it won't. In Jesus' name. Amen. I got him, Crawlmaster Flex over here. But it's interesting that we've seen this at this time because they came out and they started dropping that kind of like conspiracy theory mess, and other people have been doing it too, and we kind of saw this coming. There's been some other conspiracy theorists on Fox News, and I guess that's been their hard line now. Now their line is like, yo, look, we ain't doing no conspiracy theory stuff, and that's it. So we shall see. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess now it's done for them. There's other opportunities. You do have like Alex Jones, you have Blur. Yeah. You have Alex Jones. You have what is it? Breitbart. You got the remote?
Yeah.
You got Breitbart, but don't hold your breath because I'm not sure that they're cut out for those shows. And there is some Alex Jones news out there, but we ain't gonna mess with that. We ain't gonna cover that. We ain't even on that. But to Diamond and Silk, I doubt it, but I hope that somewhere you learn a lesson. That no matter how many songs you make up, no matter how much you shuck and jive, you will not be accepted by the dominant culture.
And just so you know, you still ain't invited to the cookout.
Yeah, we
don't try to ease.
Don't do that
back
like
in,
come crying to us thing.
Don't.
You saw how they did us. Yes.
Bye.
And we saw how you did us.
You are not invited to the cookout ever.
Don't be bringing your raisin. Don't bring your raisin infused potato salad to because we know you cooking with Karen from now on. So we ain't wrong with y'all. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to hear it. And see guys, sometimes every now and then you get a win. Also, big shout out to the chat. Like I said, we got some folks in the chat right now. Going to hit that thumbs up button. It helps a lot. You can hit that thumbs down, but if I hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send Diamond and Silk after you, and you don't want that. Also, additional, there's nobody right now. Additional shout outs. We got Blurtish. Go check them out. We got Thought Crimes. Check them out. For All Nerds. Double Toasted. Killing, doing their thing. But we just announced yesterday that myself, 133 Art, Quinn McGowan of Legends Press, we are doing the Rent Party. Check out the Rent Party, thatnerdsoul.com/rent/party. On May 30th, we're going to be kicking it, a virtual convention with tons of people there. We're going to be kicking mad flavor. Hip Hop and Geek is going to be coming together. We got people like Brandon Easton, the Blurred Girl, just tons of dope folks coming through. Shouts to David Walker, or the whole Bitter Root crew. It's going to be fun. So make sure that you keep up with the updates here or on the website. Big shout out to blacksci-fi.com for running the story on us. And we can't wait to show y'all what we have planned because it's going to be a lot of fun. So big shout out to Hassan. What up, yo? Nice to see you. So we got a little something else. I'm trying to keep it smooth today. But the NFL draft is going on. The NFL draft. What's up, Jenna James? The NFL draft is going on, and usually in the NFL draft there is a wealth of emotion. You've been playing so hard, you've been training, lifting weights, and waking up early and going to bed late, and running and push-ups and studying film and learning plays and stuff, and so much work comes and culminates into this moment where you're brought into the professional league, able to play with the greats that have done it before you.
Can I just
go on and do your thing?
I know y'all have seen these memes where it says, if such and such were a person, if this, that, and the third were a person. Well, you about to see, or we're going to talk about when, not if, but when. Sit your butt down is a person. But go ahead.
Get your up and sit your butt down. Big shout out to Rex G in the house. Hassan said, sounds good. Hope you and the family are keeping safe and comfortable at this time of chaos. Yes, we're staying in. And we'll touch a little bit on that after this story. But yes, please stay in. This might work out for us just yet. But so Isaiah Williamson, Isaiah Wilson, chilling, kicking it. They call his name. He's like, oh man, I'm crying. He pulls the hat over him. And then you see his girlfriend, white girl, right beside him. And she jumps into the frame. But you see her look at the camera real quick to be like, am I in it? So while she does that, she's trying to make sure she's seen on screen. Probably trying to mark her territory. But then you see Black Mama come up behind her and like tap her like, yo, you stealing my son's shine. All right. She don't move. So she proceeds to give her the Uncle Phil about that check. And I'm going to tell you like this.
And probably about the house at that point.
Here's the thing. She probably didn't like her no way. I don't know. I don't want to suppose that. I'm assuming so, but I don't, Look, you see, now we got to talk about you and not him. Yeah.
And that's what you turned this into.
Yeah, that's what you turned into. You took his moment. And you ain't going to be taking my son's moment.
She tried to take a whole lot more than his moment.
Yeah, it's
Trust
true.
and believe.
Look. What did I tell y'all on Thought Crimes the other day? Get yourself a sister, all right? sister wouldn't have been doing all that. Sister would have stood beside you and stayed strong. Let me serve my point, though. Let me serve my point. I need to serve my point. I need to serve my point. See, a sister wouldn't have took your moment. A sister would have been like, my man needs his time to have his moment to shine. You know what I'm saying?
No, look, as a sister, I have to say, you and I both know there are some sisters that would have done that same thing. With his jersey on, or her face all up in the camera.
Dancing.
Congratulations, boo.
But Instagram living and everything.
My boo, my future hubby, like, whoa, wait a minute.
Whoa, we ain't saying all that.
You
say all that.
Stop playing.
In the NFL.
She's like, no, me and mama made it to the NFL. I don't know what you doing.
Oh, man. Big shout out to Hassan, said mama grabs her. Rex G said, facts, mom would have let it slide. And Hassan said, the sister one who was trying to grab his cell phone. Yo, man, look, hey, I'm just saying, look, hey, you know the deal. I'm just saying, get yourself a sister and you won't have to worry about these problems.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Yeah, we ain't worrying about all that.
Sister might have still been all up in the camera. But she would have got snatched by mama too.
Yeah, so. But she would have known at the tap. She wouldn't have tried to stay. She would have got the tap and would be like,
yeah, probably
understood.
Yeah, probably so.
Understood.
Probably so.
See, I understand culturally. You tap me, I got to bounce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got you. So, big shout out to Isaiah. Worked hard, now you're in the NFL. If you could get someone who understands you, my brother, if you see what I'm saying. Now, we got some fun jubilant news, sort of. I'm on Twitter the other day, and when I was on Twitter, I saw
I don't know how it's jubilant, but okay.
Okay, maybe it's not jubilant. So I see a tweet from BET, and BET has a tweet like basically saying like, my bad, you know what I'm saying, we canceled it. And it's like mad vague, like on what they canceled. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? What did they cancel? Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get what they canceled. Like, I'm lost. So apparently, BET had tweeted that the BET house party would have Jamie Broadnax of Black Girl Nerds on to talk about how the organization, Black Girl Nerds, is pouring into Black girls around the country. And it was met with some backlash because
some backlash.
So it was met with some backlash.
That too.
Oh man, it was met with a Quinn in the house, Quinn McGowan with a check out Wildfire and Legends Press. It was met with some backlash. There were a couple of people that were like, why are you highlighting this young lady and what she does to pour into Black girls when not too long ago she had orchestrated an event that didn't go well. And when I say by not going well, it did not happen, and many people lost their money and lost their time. And in the wake of it, there did not seem to be a lot of remorse or action to recuperate those things for those people that had lost. So, flash forward 2 years, and BET, I guess they was like, hey, we don't know nothing. We just know Black Girl Nerds. You know what I'm saying? And people let them know that she is not the person. Quinn said, where's the money? The money. So
hey,
they let her know.
I just thought of some good that came out of all of this.
What happened?
Diamond, Silk, and Jamie can have their own cookout together.
Yeah. Jamie, Diamond, and Silk.
Yes.
They can all be together.
Because none of them are allowed at the cookout.
Nah.
But they can have their own and they can be together.
Man, Hassan, it was probably worse than Fire Festival. No, you know what? Fire Festival might have got worse because nobody got trapped on an island with Jamie. Like Jamie didn't trap anybody on the island.
You don't want to trap no black folks on the island.
Man, there won't no electricity.
You don't want to trap no black folks on the island.
There won't no electricity, no nothing.
Don't do that.
Now, I'm not going to get into kind of like the, I'm not planning to or looking to get into the kind of like the petty stuff of like how I feel about Jamie or, you know, like what other people are saying about Jamie.
Michael?
I'm not a fan of her, but, you know, I'm not gonna go there. What I am going to remark upon is the seeming Hassan, I'm going to talk about that in a second. The seeming
not Clarence Thomas.
The seeming laziness of larger organizations when looking for black nerds and or geeks, whether it's for gaming, for comic books, or whatever. It's like they know two people. And this is coming from BET. Well, they're a white organization. They used to be black, but they're white owned now. But you know what I'm saying? It's like they knew like two people. And like, remember, BGN still has tons of connections. You know what I'm saying? Like people still know them as I guess the most popular, you know, I think she has a blue check or BGN has a blue check. So you know that blue check matters when it comes to traditional media. So, you know, Cornelia says she misrepresented my name. Yeah, man, she tearing you up, man. So, you know, what I would really like to see is maybe like a quick search. Like, all right, we about to have Jamie on. We about to have Jamie on. Is there anything crazy? Is there anything crazy going on? Is there anything wild? You know what I'm saying? And then proceed. Because I'm like, you talking about how you pouring into black girls all over the nation. What about the black people you took from? Can you pour back into them? Like, I mean, but like I said, I'm not talking about Jamie. This is about organizations like BET, you know, NBC, whatever, that whenever they want to come and pluck somebody black up out the culture to represent geeks and geekdom and everything, could you please look further than the one black geek that you may or may not know? Because it's frustrating, to say the least. It is very frustrating, to say the least, that you it's tough to deal with. Because if you needed somebody black, I'm here. If you needed a black woman, there's many black women. What is it? Since it's virtual and they don't have to be anywhere, Black Girl Gamers, Pretty Brown and Nerdy. That's like what, I don't know, like 10 black women right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, you ain't even look. Did you even try? Did you even try to do it? Did you even look around? Or it might have been a situation where it's like, hey, look, we know black girl nerds and we know Jamie, you know, hey, it's, you know, this'll do. So that's the part that I got from all this, is that one, they don't look and they don't search. And two, you can't, nobody is ever really canceled. No matter what they do, no one's ever really canceled. Like no one ever, like depending on the tech, like depending on the I guess the connects they have, it's not gonna matter, because they're always gonna be able to get put on. So on that end, stop cancel culture, because it don't really work. Because if anyone would have been able to get canceled, it would have been able to cancel her out of what you would consider a small circle, or smaller circle than say like some big, you know, traditional nationwide actor. And I mean, she still seemed like everything fine doing her thing. People still working for her and all that. Well, I don't know if you can call it working if they're not getting paid, but
I mean, people work all the time and don't get paid.
Well, true that. So, it's just it's frustrating And I think this shows us once again that they're not working, they're not trying to do anything. And Jamie still chilling and getting them, well, trying to get them checks. I guess they stopped this check. But, you know, still out there trying to do her thing, trying to get her checks, trying to, kind of use BGN as her vehicle. Big shout out to the chat. We got Hassan says, I canceled Rev Al Sharpton, but I guess it hasn't worked. Nah, they ain't worked.
Look, we ain't heard nothing from him.
What is it? Who said that the cookout was going to have your boy Clarence Thomas in that piece? But yeah, it's it's frustrating. Therese in the house. What up, Therese? What up? But yeah, it's frustrating, but we got through it. Everything's fine. Ain't nobody hurt. Jamie's still doing her thing, I guess, and BT still doing theirs, and everybody gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna survive and make it through to the next day. What can you do? What can you do? Except maybe use Google just a little bit further. So with that said, it's been light. It's been fun, easy, and light. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, nothing too damaging, nothing that couldn't be fixed by a little bit of Twitter revolt, and everything's good. So, lastly, I wanted to get into. No, you ain't got to. Oh, I thought that was Jamie right there.
No.
So, did you have something that you wanted to bring up?
I was wondering if we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to throw that to you now. Lisa, we were watching a video earlier with Abba and Preach. And big shout out to those guys. Most of the time they ain't cool, chilling. They did nothing to me. But they covered an interesting topic about, black people being racist and what racism is, that thing. Because Jubilee or somebody made one of those videos where they're trying to go viral. And, they asked 100 people if they're racist. Those type of videos where it's like, it's too clear that you're trying to go viral. You know what I'm saying? Too clear that you're trying to go viral. And, this was just one of those videos. So, if you could, go in and tee it up for them.
Can I start off by reading the definitions?
Yes. Please
Okay.
read the definitions of racism or racist or whatever.
I'm gonna read the definition of racism according to Merriam-Webster.
All right. We all trust her.
Sure. Anyway. So first one, a belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. Second definition, 2 parts, a doctrine or political program based on the assumption of racism and designed to execute its principles. Second part, a political or social system founded on racism. And last definition, racial prejudice or discrimination. Those are the definitions of racism. All right?
Okay.
I'm going to read the definitions of prejudice.
Okay.
Want to talk about it? Here we go. Okay. First definition, injury or damage resulting from some judgment or action of another in disregard of one's rights. Second definition, preconceived judgment or opinion, an adverse opinion or leaning formed without just grounds or before sufficient knowledge, an instance of such judgment or opinion, and last, an irrational attitude of hostility directed against an individual, a group, a race, or their supposed characteristics.
So, by the book that they put together, by the words that they put together, that would be a no. We're not. Now, they were arguing that, we all have privilege. We all, Abba and Preach. were arguing that, you know, we all have privilege and we, you know, differing levels of privilege and we're all racist in our own ways, kind of things like that, which I don't particularly have an issue with. And big shout out to the super chat, to Rez with the $2. What up, what up? It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left y'all. Thank you, sir. The problem that I think comes in with Abba and Preach, at least on this situation, seems to be being disconnected from African American experience of racism in America.
Yeah, because they're in Canada, and which one grew up in Africa?
I think Abba did.
Okay, so Abba grew up in Africa, and Preach grew up in another country also, correct?
I believe so, but I don't know where.
Okay.
And we ain't trying to throw no shade on where they grew up.
No. Nothing
this is
about
just
that.
About them
Not
being disconnected from a very specific upbringing.
Right. They don't, you know, they're disconnected from the African American experience.
Yes.
And so, you know, we were talking about how I don't know if it's really, I think it's a little disingenuous, for them to talk about this when they haven't had the African American experience, you know, and to say, it's almost like they were trying to put, like you said, the Black people being racist or prejudiced on the same level of
as
white
everybody's racist.
You know, and it's like I was saying, if you want to take race, being a racist at a very simplistic level and use a very simplistic definition, meaning that you don't like someone because of their race. That's a very simplistic definition of being a racist.
Yeah.
Well, then yes, anybody can be racist if you want to use that simplistic definition, but you know that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, what we're really talking about is the people that have the absolute power to control your life.
Right.
And people that look like you, their lives.
Or just to
banking,
affect
through housing, through judicial system.
Or even just to affect your life on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, and hey to Calandra and Will.
Oh, Calandra and Will in the house. What up, what up? It is interesting to see it through their eyes, because from their perspective, it's like, oh, well, you know, Black people, you know, white people are racist everywhere. And it's like, yes, but the difference in America is that we were never, ever meant to be free. So the intention and the emotion behind white supremacy here in this country is much different than it might be in Canada, or much different than it might be in Britain. Not saying that it doesn't exist. They got their own flavor. Just saying that when you speak about this particular flavor, you're slightly disconnected. So you're missing some things where maybe you think that our racism, like say if I'm like, I don't know, I hate white people and white people are not cool or something like that, and you want to equate that to a white man in America, it's not the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even semi-equivalent.
Right. Because you let's say, you know, if you said, okay, I hate white people, and you decided to do something about it. As in, let's say you decided to go into a white church, into a Bible study meeting with a gun and kill everybody in that whole meeting. What are the chances that you gonna make it out there alive, let alone go through a drive-through and get a burger?
It's very, very slim. I'd say impossible.
Okay.
I'd say that would never, ever, 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 ever happen.
Okay. I'm just saying.
And it's just interesting and semi-frustrating to see how the African American experience has been
equated,
and also interesting to see how it's been discussed and broken down from people that haven't been in our particular in our particular culture.
Right.
From casting, British black people or black people from Europe for what would be considered a black role, or to Afro-Canadians speaking on something that is more of a African American black issue. Now, not to say that there isn't anti-blackness, and I believe that the video that was made was in Canada. And can you see? Let me get that unit right, the laptop right there. The laptop right there, that one. Oh yeah, you good. All right, so it seems like there's this need or willingness to comment on our brand of racism without particularly ever being a part of it, being connected to it, or experiencing it, or having like any skin in the game. I would never presuppose to comment on racism in Canada or racism in, I don't know, Spain. I know it exists. I know something's going, because now the white supremacy and imperialism has kind of like leveled up and leveled down all over the world. But I know there is a specific difference than it is here, and I would never put myself in a position to pretend that I know. I'm on racism towards blacks in Germany. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see. Well, to speak to that, actually, I don't know if they were speaking to racism in any particular place. Yeah. I think they were speaking in general.
Yeah.
Like saying like period. Black people can be racist just like white people can be racist. Period. And it was kind of like a blanket statement. A blanket statement.
Yeah, but even in that blanket statement, you have to be very careful not to equate black racism or prejudice from black people to what white supremacy is doing either the world over or doing in America. Because to create this false equivalency it's frustrating. I'll say that. Now, I'll go to the chat and see what you guys are saying, because I know you guys have been going off. See, Will and Calandra, shout out. And Quinn McGowan, came through talking about like pretty much anti-blackness is global, which is true. It's anti-blackness, it's, everywhere in them streets. And that's when you get into anti-blackness, that's when you get into like a lot of either Latinx communities or Asian communities, stuff like that as well. See, Quinn McGowan also say England, France, Spain enslaved outside of their countries. U.S. Live with us is totally different. Yeah, there were never particular slaves in Spain the way it is here, and for and Quinn said, me saying Chad can't dance won't cost him a job. Yeah, things like that. Let's see, Cornelius Broadnax says, if you haven't read, quote, The Delectable Negro yet, it'll put a whole different spin on our difference between others and the diaspora, how it continues to this day, and how it's still going on today. Yeah, because there's a big difference in the current subjugation in this country. So it's not that I have a particular issue with their video. It's more of the approach of kind of making this blanket statement about kind of like racism across the board, which is a real problem for me and many others. And not to diss them, because another thing is I don't want this to be a thing. It's not. This is not a YouTuber beef thing.
No, we watch them. We like them.
I think they're cool.
Yeah.
It's just that at times you have to step back and be like, okay, we need to make sure that we're separating these categories and not using blanket statements, because I don't know what racism is like in Canada, in Britain, in Ireland, in Germany. I know it exists. I know it's there. I remember this time this guy came in our chat and was like, I was talking about racism for something happened. He was like, well, I'm in the UK. We don't have racism. And I was like,
was he white?
Yeah, I think he was white, but I was just like,
he don't have racism.
I was like, you have your own brand.
He don't have racism, but the black people would probably be like, oh, we have racism.
Yeah, I was like, you got your own brand. It's not the same, but you got your own brand. Like, don't get too happy. It's like, oh, we don't have racism. It's like, well, let's not go too far. Let's not get that. Let's not pat ourselves on the back just yet. But let's see. Also, Hassan saying diminished as if it's not real and visceral. I guess referring to an earlier statement when he said Afro-Canadians suffer racism, but not nearly at the virility of what we experienced in the United States of America. And yeah, it's very different. And I just want to urge us to continue to remember that when kind of making these blanket statements or even equating modern day sexism to white supremacy and stuff like that, just to be very careful, because you get into these things where it's kind of like that intersectional kind of area where like, oh, well, all pain is equal. And it's like, well, no. If you pluck my hand or if you stab me, it's two different things.
Right.
And not to say that plucking your hand does not deserve attention. It's just that there's levels to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that said, guys, don't be running being like, yo, we ain't no beef. It's just that I want to make sure that we're also not doing it to others as well, because I've seen it enough from them to us. Like even the brother from Get Out, the brother that played W'Kabi in Black Panther, Daniel Kaluuya. He made a statement, and I can't remember the exact words, but essentially kind of being like, yo, we're black. We're all black. And it is like, and I know you have the Q-Tip lyric that says black is black. And like, I understand that. But if black was black, then there wouldn't seem to be a concerted effort at having non-American blacks represent American black quintessential roles. If black was black, or if there was no difference, there wouldn't seem to be a concerted effort to make sure that we hire people outside of this particular atmosphere. So yeah, just which goes back to like the argument that we were having with the Ava DuVernay documentary. So stuff like that. And big shouts to Fillmore Pockets, one of my favorite names online. I said, just because someone is black doesn't mean they're part of African American culture.
Absolutely.
Yes. And that's not to be like we're above you or whatever. It's just like we're different.
Yeah,
like
it's a different experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't go over to London and be like, yo, man, I'm with y'all. I mean, I'd be like, yeah, I'm with y'all on, like, we're black, but I wouldn't be like, I know exactly what you went through. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't try to put their experience on like this blanket term either. It would seem, it would be insensitive to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think is Abba and Preach were just saying that, we're referring to, like I said, the simplistic definition of racism.
Yeah.
Which is, if you have bias against a certain race, you're racist. And that's a very simplistic definition. So in that simplistic definition, I agree with them.
But at the same time, for two people that usually bring up Google and references on their videos, for them not to Google the actual definition is interesting.
Yeah.
It seems almost like it was to serve their point.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Because you think that would be one of the first things they did was, Google, well, what is the actual definition? And then when you start to say things like, what's the part where it says believing that your race is superior to others for the sake of, or something like that?
Hold on, let me get back to it.
And the one under Miriam, the one for racism. But when it comes to black people, you don't see us running around saying we're superior to people. No, we're just like, yo, we're dope. I don't know if you're dope or not. I don't even care if you're dope. Just leave me alone.
Right.
We're cool. We're sweet. We're dope. We're awesome by ourselves.
And this is and even going as far as saying, at the minimum, I'm as dope as you are. At the minimum. You know what I'm saying? We all got our things. I'm not even talking about, like, when I say, like, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, James Brown didn't follow the lyric with, like, I'm black and I'm proud. And I'm black.
And since I'm black, I'm superior to everybody. No. Like, that's never what we've even asked for.
Yeah, because white pride, quote unquote, is always attached
White pride is definitely tied to.
White pride is always attached to you niggers. I don't know any better way to put it. Yeah. It's not about I'm proud of being white just because I'm white and I'm proud of it, period, go home. It's always we're proud of being white and you Negroes need to die. You know, it's...
Or at least be in a position of servitude under me forever.
Yes.
Big shout out to Boogsworthy says, being black can look different where you are. A black person from Jamaica isn't the same as one from Brazil, though they may have some commonalities in the respective cultures. Yes. So, that's where that video kind of like rubbed me a little bit wrong. Because I felt like, all right, well, usually you go to like the definition and then kind of build from that. But they didn't. And I was like, to kind of blanket this is unfair to not only African-American blacks, but black people from, like Boogsworthy said, Jamaica, Brazil, Thailand, Spain, France, whatever. Their brand is just like a little bit different. So yeah, that's all. But we can end on something fun. Okay. Well, it's about the black experience, but it's fun. Big shout out to Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah.
Who just dropped the trailer for HBO Max's new series called Lovecraft Country. So I'm a shout out to all of you guys in the comments or in the chat who may have read the book. If you've read the book, feel free to put me up on some game because I just saw the trailer, so I don't know. So the trailer dropped, and even though I ain't trying to get another streaming service, it looks great. And man, wow.
Because it's going to be on what?
It's going to be on HBO Max. And the thing that I love already about this is, once again, we're seeing like, Jordan Peele ain't playing, man. Like they let him out the gate and he been running ever since. Now, the premise is like Lovecraft Country follows Atticus Black as he joins up with his friend Letitia and his uncle George to embark on a road trip across 1950s Jim Crow America in search of his missing father. This begins a struggle to survive and overcome both the racist terrors of white America and the terrifying monsters that could be ripped straight from a Lovecraft paperback novel. The visions are beautiful. Like, straight up, the visions are awesome and beautiful in this trailer. That's the first thing. You see Journey Smollett up in there acting like her brother ain't never did nothing wrong.
She ain't got nothing to do with that. She ain't got nothing to do with that. Leave her alone.
I was just playing. She ain't want her fault. She ain't did nothing. But let's see. Mr. Ducksaw says, let's hope it's not going to be like the Twilight Zone because it was a stinker. Also, what? I liked everything but the monsters that popped out of nowhere, and it caught me until that part.
I'm with you on that, but I'm not with you on Twilight. Twilight Zone was good. I don't know. Well, it was two episodes of Twilight Zone that we didn't like.
Yeah, Twilight Zone ended up being mostly enjoyable.
Yes.
Mostly there were like 2 or 3 episodes that I was like, whatever. But for the most part, I was like, you know what? Cool. Let's see where this goes. I want to see more.
Yeah.
But let's see. Jenna James says can't wait to watch it. You already know it's on HBO, and it's on HBO. The tone and writing is amped a certain is up to a certain level from, and I don't know what else. So we'll see what else. But the writing looks on point. The costuming is awesome. The monsters actually got me interested. I'm interested in seeing an alt history type of show thrown in with like a little maybe pseudoscience, some supernatural stuff.
Well,
you know, I'm interested to see where it might end us up at.
I'm gonna tell you why it threw me.
Okay.
And why I'm a little leery is because we're talking about the 50s. And we know the 50s is not the best time for black folk, right? So what I don't want to happen is for it to become this kind of monster show in the middle of the 50s when black people are dealing with real stuff, unless they're going to make a parallel between monsters and white people.
Yeah, and Jordan Peele has not been, in stuff that he's been producing and writing and stuff like that, he hasn't put out anything that was just straight trizash. And I think this might be right up his alley because you have Get Out, which mixes kind of like racism and a pseudoscience with like a touch of supernatural kind of put into it. You know, so this kind of seems like his beat. Then you got Candyman, even though he's not directing it. I do believe he's one of the writers. I want to say he's a producer and one of the writers. But forgive me, y'all let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. But also that looks great. Jordan Peele is kind of killing it right now. Usually you see his name on some stuff, it don't look like no trash. It don't look like a student film from, you know, West Bum College. You know what I'm saying?
Who you talking about? Who you sad talking about?
I'm talking about people that be having wigs that make them look like a Bernstein bear. But anyway,
you being messy.
Bootsworthy said the trailer gave me some Bloodbone vibes in terms of the monsters that showed up. I'm really excited for this. A good reason to re-up on my HBO sub. Jenna James said it gave me a WGN Underground meets Supernatural meets Watchmen. Yeah, one of the in the trailer it said from like one of the writers of the Underground or something like. So someone that was involved with Underground is also involved with this. AG the Great, what up? Nice to see you up in here. Said Cosmic Black Horror, that's a new one. Mr. Ducksaw said that show has production value, but the monster was too early. I'd rather have witchcraft first and then changes into a monster thing when they found out something is bigger than what they originally expected. Well, remember, this is just a trailer. They gotta get your beak wet. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're gonna be opening up with monsters. Who knows? But you know, you gotta get your beak wet. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let people know what you got. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show me what you got, little lady. Show me. So you got to show me what you got. Let's see. Gotham Guy says, "What show are you guys talking about?" We're talking about Lovecraft Country. They just dropped the trailer, I believe, either today or late last night. Let's see. AG the Great said it makes sense. Lovecraft was racist. Jenna James says, if this show hits, I wouldn't mind seeing Peele doing HBO Max's Justice League Dark show, or at least directing a couple of those episodes. That would be nice. And Justice League Dark, I've always been into, you know, supernatural horror, supernatural action. So I'm definitely down with that. Like I'm definitely all, you know, I'm definitely all up in that. So I'm down with it for real. I'm easily, you know, ready to watch it. I don't know if I'll be subbing to HBO Max, but I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I'll be honest. I am ready for this show. I think I've seen enough to at least lock me in for the first 2 episodes. Outside of that, we'll see. So if this hits and if it's good, are you Loda Scala? Are you Jenna James? Are you AG the Great? Are y'all picking up HBO Max? Because HBO Max needs hitters. You know what I'm saying? They need hitters. They need shows to come out the gate and be hot. So are you going to be watching? Are you going to pick up a new subscription on top of your, you know, maybe 2, 3, whatever, are you going to pick up those subscriptions and you know, add that to your mounting Netflix and, you know, DC Universe and all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Jenna James, yeah, you know, look, I'm just keeping it real, all right? Like, look, HBO, look, you got one show. I can't be doing that for one show. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Lotus Scholar said they do need hitters, and I don't know yet. I might. So, Lisa, if you could, what's your take on it? Like, would you be interested in watching this show? You know, I know that's not really your gig, but are you interested in watching this show? You know, you got Journey in the house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in watching it. You know, my thing is, you know, I'm not too big on them just throwing monsters in there.
Yeah.
It depends on where they go with that for me, quite honestly, because I'm just not a huge, you know me, I'm not huge on the whole monster thing. Like I said, unless, and I wouldn't put it past him, unless he's going to make some parallel between, you know, white folks during that time and monsters. You know, if he does that, then I think, you know, I could deal with that. And still, depending on how far he goes with that, it just threw me off, quite honestly, seeing that, because I'm thinking we're dealing with, you know, the black experience in the 50s.
Yeah.
You know, probably in the South. You know, I mean, I want to give it a chance. I want to see it. You know, I want to definitely give it a chance. But I'm, you know, I ain't coming with the full.
You ain't into the monsters.
I ain't coming with the full, you know, bucket of popcorn.
See, I got a full bucket of pop. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I love this trailer. It's alternate history. We got this weird thing with Lovecraft Country. We don't even know what that. So we're starting with a mystery. We start with 2 mysteries. Where your daddy at? You know what I'm saying? They got to go find his daddy. Where your daddy, who plays Omar in The Wire. So where Omar? We got to find Omar. And on top of that, what is Lovecraft Country? And if white people are in Lovecraft Country, why do they seem just as surprised and scared of those monsters that are in Lovecraft Country? That's an interesting... That's something I want to find out. And if it's written smart in a way where, you know, most of Jordan Peele stuff is smart, I'm down to stay. Big shout out to Jenna James says, I feel her on that and not coming with a full bucket of popcorn. Said maybe by the time of episode 3 or 4 rolls around, I will. All right, word. So guys, thank you for coming through. That's it. We had a smooth day. See, I told you. It was a good week. We had a nice, smooth week. It wasn't nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everything was pretty fun. You know what I'm saying? Everything was pretty fun. Not too crazy. Nothing broke this week. You know what I'm saying? Except people going to the beach when they shouldn't have went. But I will say, black people, thank you. Because I did not see none of y'all at the beach. When they showed pictures of people at the beach, I ain't seen none of y'all. So y'all are listening and y'all are doing what y'all supposed to do. Thank you. Thank you. So, with that said, I would like to give the benediction. All rise.
Pass the plate.
All things. No. So, to the left, before we get out of here, Lisa, say what up.
Bye, y'all.
And with that said, thank you guys for chilling. NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, going all the way to Cornelius Broadnax. Big shout out to Alan Lewis. Big shout out to Jenna James, Hassan, Rex G, Quinn McGowan. Let's see who else. I know we have Therese in the spot. Big shout out to Therese with the super chizat. Womo in the house.
That's Calandra and Will.
Oh, Calandra and Will. So big shout out to Calandra and Will. Yo, we had a good shot. And Boogsworthy. Big shout out to Boogsworthy as well. And Lo the Scholar. If I didn't already say your name, can't remember. But thank you for coming through. Much love to all y'all. Do not forget the rent party is going on May 30th right here on this channel. Hashtag rent party. You can check out thatnerdsoul.com/rent party. It's going to be a virtual con like you ain't never seen before. So with that said, from us to you, we thank you for watching. You want to say peace? Yeah. All right, come on over here so you can say peace. All right, say peace. Peace. Guys, thank you for coming. From us to you, we're just saying peace. 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 Man. For real, for all y'all sunshiny faces, we love all y'all. Y'all be good. Peace. 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 What? Peace. 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 Oh. Peace. 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 See y'all next week. Peace. 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 Goodbye. Peace. We out.